David MD, and this is the DAMD Podcast. The views and opinions expressed on the DAMD Podcast do not necessarily represent the official policy or positions of any agency or business. Now let's start the show. Alrighty, so let's go back in time here. This is your first episode on the DAMD. I like to get everybody's life story. I find it really interesting. There's comedians are a rare breed, so to understand them individually, like where they came from, how they were inspired, I find it terribly interesting. 32 other people find it terribly interesting on YouTube. So.
I love it. That's 32 more views than my last video got.
There we go. So I'm hoping that...
Follow me.
Yeah, everybody follow it. Speaking of that, let's drop these handles real quick before we get into the whole thing. So,
on the socials, it's Tracy Twits. I'm getting so tired of saying that. It's so embarrassing. TWACY, TWITS. That's Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. If you look up Tracy Twits, it comes right up.
Okay.
And of course on YouTube, it's just Tracy Kellett.
Nice.
KELLETT, 2 T's.
2 T's, yes.
2 L's, 2 T's.
I thought I copied it directly off of the Facebook so I can get our clapperboard working.
You failed.
I forgot a fucking T. But if you know my name, you'll know that that's...
The first time I got called on stage at Looney's, they called me Kelly Pellet.
Kelly Pellet.
And they even wrote it down, like they didn't want to forget it. So I have the piece of paper that says Kelly Pellet. Like they were going out of their way to make sure they didn't fuck up my name, and they butchered it in every possible way. And I just keep it on my wall in my office to stay humble.
I do. So I got my my stand for my my stand-up comedy career, and it's important to remember where you came from and talk to that person. Talk to a young Tracy. Be like, all right, we're on our path here. This is what this person has always wanted. Because there are times you get off stage, you're like, what the fuck am I doing with my life?
What am I doing?
Like,
why am I doing this? Every time.
Fucking A. Okay, so where are you from?
I am from La Plata, Maryland. A very small, rural farming town.
Okay.
Nestled between the Potomac and the Chesapeake Bay.
Very nice.
Yeah,
so,
lots of fishing, lots of crabbing.
Yeah. And you swimming in the water there?
Oh, no? I mean, you can swim. I mean, I come out with like fucking dorsal fins and shit. It's not the cleanest water is what I'm trying to tell you.
Have some radioactive shit on.
Yeah. I can feel colors.
Wow. So, did you move around a lot as a kid, or you were there up until you graduated high school?
Yeah, I'm basically like more or less. There was some time in Baltimore. There was some time up in Michigan, but more or less it was La Plata.
Okay.
Yeah.
So like early comedy inspirations. So TV stuff, any stand-ups that come to mind and everything. Just
So I never thought I'd be a comedian. Like I know now when I look back, it was definitely like, I mean, for most people it's a coping mechanism, right? Like you just you just want to make people happy so they accept you and like you. But honestly, I grew up on the Golden Girls. Like my mom would watch it when she was on the treadmill. I've seen every episode at least 700 times. Like I can word for word, I can tell you episode names, but it's so crazy now because I see in my comedy, I am such a Dorothy. I am Dorothy's Bornak. And it's kind of weird, but also just savage. Like, so it was 100% the Golden Girls for me. That
nice.
Comedy for me. And that show, by the way, has more laughs per minute than any other sitcom in the history of TV. And people don't realize that. Yes.
Damn.
Yeah, that show was nailing it. So that definitely was, I don't know, I look back now on my own humor and, oh yeah. The lovely ladies. Yeah, yep, that's me. That's me. Dorothy, Arthur.
B. Arthur. There we go.
I have a picture of her in my house, and it looks like she's my mother.
It's like framed like intimately.
It's framed as if it's my mother on my mantle. And people are like, "Is that your mom?" Because people don't know, And I'm like, "Yeah, she raised me." Like, it's not untrue.
So many kids are now raised by TV that you latch on to that.
And I was totally like a latchkey kid. So it was like I came home, I'd watch the Golden Girls, I played video games, and I put myself to sleep. Like, So
damn, the full effect.
Full blown child neglect.
Jeez. So you grew up on the Golden Girls. Every time I hear the Golden Girls, I thank you for being like every fucking time.
Oh yeah,
a theme song.
It's
so distinct.
It's so funny. I wish more people. I'm trying to get Johnny to watch it. I send him different episodes because he'll be like, "Are you watching Falcon and the Winter Soldier?" I'm like, "Nah, bitch. I'm watching The Case of the Libertine Belle, season 7, episode 2 of the Golden Girls."
Holy shit! Okay, you're dialed in.
That's what I'm doing tonight, bitch.
Who owns that? Does Hulu have rights
It's
to
on
it?
Hulu.
It's on Hulu.
It's
okay.
going to switch to Disney Plus in the summer.
Fucking Disney.
I know.
Can you buy DAMD podcasts there, Disney? I need some of that fucking $1 trillion network
Right?
you guys are.
I would like Budweiser.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. I am a Coors girl. I'm sorry. Budweiser. We're drinking at 10 a.m.
Hey, little morning drinking never hurt anybody.
Hair of the dog.
Yeah. So really that was it for your childhood with like comedy inspirations and everything. Okay.
And I never wanted to be. I never thought I'd be a comic. I used to have this dream that I'd be on like a talk show, but I never knew what I'd be on the talk show for. Like I used to pretend that I was going to be a good singer. I can't sing at all. Like I am not an interesting person. I'm not a good actor. Like, but I was like, I'm going to be famous one day, and I'm not going to be famous now. But still, in my mind, I'm like, maybe I'll be a famous comic. I won't.
Hey, not with that attitude.
It's not happening.
It's good to know I wasn't the only child that used to do like interviews in their own head.
Oh yeah, like with the
Johnny?
hairbrush. Oh yeah, 100%. Or the conditioner bottle if you're in the bathroom. Yeah. Like you read the back and then you just pretend it's a microphone. Yeah, we all did it.
I used to practice empty-handed when I was like in high school. Like I knew I wanted to be a stand-up, but yeah, I never actually had like a hard like thing in there. I always memorized like just having that there.
I always had to have something. Even now, like before I do an important set, I have a mic and mic stand at my house.
Yeah.
And I do the whole thing. I'll watch myself in the mirror and see like what my facial expressions or tics are, because there was like this point when I first started where I would tell a joke and I'd back up when they laughed.
Ooh.
And I didn't know I did that. I had no clue. So I was watching myself, and now I'm realizing that now I'm leaning into it like too hard.
Laugh, motherfuckers.
So now it's like this very like aggressive, and I'm like, okay, there has to be a happy medium. But the aggressive thing is better than the passive thing.
Yeah.
Of like, oh, you're laughing and I don't know what to do with this.
Yeah. You don't want them to feel like they own the room.
Yes.
Yeah.
So but I learned that by watching myself in the mirror, and I had no idea that I was doing it.
Young comedians thinking about getting on stage or are in their early careers need to memorize mic discipline, and that is the easiest thing there. Is literally before I even
move the mic stand.
Yes.
Oh my God. Completely out of the way. Someone might be taking your picture. Last night, one of the comics was doing a set and Dan Rainey was there he takes pictures for free. They're fucking amazing pictures.
Hell
like,
yeah.
Are you kidding me? Take advantage. But the guy would not move the mic stand. So in every single picture, and it was like, you just move it. Like it takes 2 seconds. Like just move it. No one even notices it. It's seamless. Just move the mic stand.
It should be second nature.
Yeah. And he wasn't a comic like doing his comedy with the mic stand. It was like, it was so uncomfortable to watch.
There's been a couple times where I was doing a longer set, like a 10-minute, and had the mic stand behind me, and I felt like things weren't going well because I felt like I was in my own head and they were starting to read that. I grabbed the mic stand, kind of use it like a Bill Burr, like leaning post and everything.
Look, if you have
get
the
it out of your
balls,
fucking way.
Yeah, but don't just move it next to you. Like, you know what I mean? Like move it just a little back. It's like JFK, back and to the left, back and to the left.
It'll blow your mind.
It'll blow your mind.
Okay, so you get out of high school. Mm-hmm. So in high school, were you the class clown? Were you the one in the back hating on the class clown? Like, what was your relationship with comedy at that point?
Honestly, I was always surrounded by really funny people. Like I always gravitated towards those really funny. I guess class clowns. They were like to the extreme, like the pranksters, the degenerates. You know what I mean? Okay. Like me and my friends, we took a backhoe and we made a pond on one of my friend's property because he had like 50 acres, and we called ourselves the Pondies.
So you guys were Pondies.
We're the Pondies. So we were just like those kids that like we didn't give a fuck. Like we would get drunk, we'd hang off the side of my friend's Jeep topless. Like it was just like
shit.
we were those party kids. So I don't really think of us as like the class clowns. I feel like there were people that probably wanted the attention more, but we were like the fun ones that everyone wanted to hang out with.
Hell yeah.
You know, like we would have 50 people show up that we didn't know. And they were just like, yeah, man, like I heard you guys are partying out here. And I'm like, yeah, I got 15 bottles of Mad Dog 2020.
Damn.
I went shoulder tapping.
Shoulder tapping. I don't think I've heard that one.
Oh, yeah. When you go to the liquor store and you tap on someone's shoulder and you give them cash for them to go in and get your beer.
That is some latchkey kid shit.
Hell yeah. Look, you do what you need to do. You do what you need to do.
Wow. Yeah, my first underage drink, I think, was 20 years and 11 months. I was literally like on the doorstep of 21.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, I was a sheltered child, though.
I think I was like 12.
Damn.
There was honestly nothing else to do in La Plata, Maryland either. So, I mean...
Well, you gotta remember that I was a military brat, too. So anytime a
Right.
dependent fucks up, it could directly affect the service member.
No,
So.
yeah. It was like when your parents aren't around, it's like, what are you going to do? You're going to party.
Yeah.
You know?
Hey, you dodged teen
Safely.
pregnancy to the best of my knowledge. So.
Yes, I did. No, I did. Because again, I was friends with all guys, and they just completely respected me. So we were
Nice.
all just like homies. It was never, you know, weird. It was never sexual.
Hey. Like kissing your brother or something.
Right, exactly.
So you guys in class, were you the class clowns or?
We were just like the fun one. Like we were just the
Okay.
partiers. Like we had like some streaking incidents and things like that. But when I think of class clown, I think of someone who's like doing something in the back of the room. You know what I mean? And we were just like so overt about it. You know, we were just like, okay, me and Denny Dingus are going to go streaking at period 3
wow.
kind of
Okay.
thing. Oh, yeah.
You guys are above the class clown.
Yeah, we were just like next level shit.
You're into like college movies,
Yes.
like insanity. Like,
Yes.
we're going streaking.
But like I think everyone kind of had given up on us. So it's not like they cared. They were just like,
Jesus.
it's Tracy and Nathan.
So you graduate high school.
Mm-hmm.
Do you get into college or
No, I went straight into the military.
into the military? Okay.
So, because I joined just shortly after 9/11.
Okay.
So they did the delayed entry program.
When did
No
you graduate
idea.
high school?
I graduated in 03.
03.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So they did this delayed entry program. My mom signed me into the Army when I was 16.
Okay. That's where okay.
Yep. And so I did the delayed entry program to like get promoted to an E2.
Wow.
In that time, and then as soon as I graduated high school, I went to basic training. I don't even think I was 18 yet. It may have been like the day after I turned 18, but I think I was still 17 when I got to basic.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was like literally I got signed over to the military. I was property of the Army. Greatest thing I ever did. I honestly think that the draft is a great idea. I think everyone needs to serve. I think you learn so much, male, female, I don't care.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's a great experience. It teaches you so much. So.
Yeah. Well, I like with it's the efficiency in time, learning to do something when asked the first time kind of thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I learned so much about myself in the military. Like, I just can't imagine I can't imagine being 35 right now and not having learned that about myself when I was 18.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
So it sounded like you came out of tech school, your AIT.
AIT.
Went to Korea after that.
Yeah. So I went to training. So my basic was at Relaxin' Jackson. And then my AIT was at Fort Bragg. So special operations is at Fort Bragg. So I did my AIT there. Airborne school, of course, is not there. It's at Fort Benning. But I did my airborne school, and then I went back to Fort Bragg for my language school. I was stationed at Fort Bragg. And then I went to Korea twice.
Okay.
So
was that a short tour? A 1 year stint there? Okay.
They do the war games twice a year, so we would literally just go for the war games.
Okay. So this is a short TDY.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any comedy spinnings in there yet? Or
no. Like seriously, I just we called ourselves the Brutal Distortion Posse.
Okay.
And we would just do dumb stuff. Like we would Photoshop, like I told you, like we would do Photoshop stuff. We would just kind of like be the assholes who were like, we're going to unblouse our pants. We're going to wear out of red glasses. We were just we were just jerks, but like we were always the ones just having a good time. We were always the party people, like
Nice.
not even like frat party, but just like we were just like the people always having a good time kind of thing.
Yeah, you're mentioning in the Bomb podcast coming out Thursday that you're getting drunk downtown, underage and shit.
Yeah,
like-
yeah. I mean, we were just always having a good. Like, I just have never taken things like very seriously.
Okay.
So I mean, like, if something is serious, then I'll step up. But other than that, I just can't take things seriously.
Yeah.
You know. So just
Life's too short to take serious all the fucking time.
yeah.
Like-
So everything was just like a fun time. Like on jump days, we would take a carton of cigarettes. And we would like jump, and then we'd be like, you can strap hang sometimes, like if people don't show up for the jumps, and we would just keep jumping like a roller coaster. Like you're
Wow.
like, how many strap hang shoots do you have? And we would just go and jump and jump and jump and just chain smoke and eat jerky. And I'm just like, this is the coolest thing. Why aren't other people doing this? This is amazing.
Why aren't other people jumping out of perfectly good aircraft?
I don't get it. Why am I the only one?
Fucking nuts. Speaking of jump school, make sure you watch the Bomb podcast this week, because one of those bombs
Ooh, doggy.
is next level. You introduced a new topic into the Bomb podcast, so I appreciate that.
You're welcome. I'm here for you, David.
I don't know, after three females, 3 ladies. That's a weird thing with being military
Yeah, you say
associated. It's like
females.
female all the time.
Yeah.
And then you see on the internet that a lot of people don't like being called female. So
Oh, I don't care. I mean, that's how I identify, so I don't care at all.
there
you
go.
know.
Brittany, Leslie, and yourself. Nobody's brought up period stuff. So
I perioded myself.
Congratulations.
It's a verb.
Okay, so how long were you in the Army?
I was in for about 4 years.
4 years. Okay.
Yep. And then, so I got pregnant. So my husband and I met on a jump. I don't know how much people know about jumps, but basically your first jump out of airborne school is called your cherry blast for obvious reasons. And I was going through language school, and so the language school that I went through, it's a bunch of guys going through the Q course to become Green Berets. It's part of the pipeline. I was one of the only chicks. And I was petrified because an airborne school, they're door jumps. And basically you get close to the door and it sucks you out.
Damn.
So you don't have to think about anything. I had my 6th jump was a ramp jump on a C-130. So you have to walk off the ramp.
Oh.
And there is something mentally there, you know. So I'm chain smoking out of the back of this 30 pack. I'm the only chick. This guy that I was in language school with, his name was Lugo. Great butt chin. I remember that. Awesome butt chin. He's just like trying to be so kind to me, but he was like, you look nervous and they're going to start giving you shit. Like, you have to trust me. Please stop. But I'm chain smoking. I'm so scared. I'm so nervous. And my husband, who I did not know at the time, he's sitting across from me and he was like, make this bitch sing Cherry Pie. And I was just like, what? So I'm the only girl and it's a bunch of fucking Green Berets. Like, I'm not talking like weak guys. I'm talking big, burly, these murderers, okay?
Yeah.
About to be murderers. And who haven't seen females in a very long time.
Yeah.
They've been stuck in the woods for 2 years.
They need towels to get the
So
drool off.
They
now.
literally coerced me into singing Cherry Pie, which, by the way, I don't even know why I said I knew the words. Like, I don't know why I did this to myself. So I'm in the back of this 30 pack. I'm chain smoking. Now I'm singing Cherry Pie by Warrant. Like, the whole song. They had given me these like cherry Pop-Tarts and like cherry pies from the gas stations and stuff. So they're in all of my pockets. So when I landed, I was covered in this filth. Like, you could feel it coming through the
yeah, because when you
BDUs.
guys hit, you fucking roll.
Yeah, you
and
try to
crush
go
everything.
sideways. Yeah, like you don't want to break your ankles.
Just
So-
pop all the Pop-Tarts, though.
Yeah, I actually hit a thermal, so I was sitting in my chute and I started eating a Pop-Tart, and my husband was like, "This bitch is savage. Like, I love her," but I was like, I hate this guy. I was so upset. I was like in tears almost. I was like, I hate him. I'm never gonna talk to him again. Fuck this guy. And we got married 3 months later. So we get married.
When in AIT.
I know, right? So we do the whole marriage thing. So I ended up he came home for Christmas. I get pregnant and he deploys again. And
Yeah, because this is post 9/11,
Yeah.
early 2000s. So
yeah. So I got out and then I moved out here with him. I was like 8 months pregnant and I moved out here with him.
damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, PCS while pregnant cannot be fucking easy.
It wasn't fun. It wasn't fun.
You guys lose any goods in the move?
But worth it. No, I mean, we had no goods. I mean, look at us.
Oh, yeah, E3,
yeah,
E4.
I know. Yeah, I was like an E4, and he got promoted to E6 just because he basically had to be an E6 to do his job. Like, it wasn't like we were, like, worth it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Weight allowance must have been good, though.
Yeah. So, no, I didn't lose any lawn chairs in the move.
Lucky you.
Yeah.
Okay, so you get out of the military.
Mm-hmm.
What's next for you at that point?
I stayed home for a little while, and it drove me nuts.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm just like not a stay-at-home person. Mm-hmm. So I literally started working at the law firm that I worked at for 13 years. I started as a receptionist, then I got promoted to paralegal, and then I got promoted to office manager, and I was the office manager for 11 years.
So when you're the office manager, you're moving around the pieces, the personnel, or are you like plugging and playing like lawsuits and all that shit?
I was still doing some paralegal work, but it was mostly like all the behind the scenes stuff. So it's hire, fire, accounts receivable, accounts payable, dealing with vendors, like dealing with the building itself, like dealing with maintenance and things like that. Managing the attorneys because they're all fucking crazy, and they can't like keep track of their own calendar. I'd have to text them in the morning and be like, "Hey, remember you have a hearing at 8:30," and it's like 7:30 and they're still asleep. So it was just a lot of that. But I went straight into that, and I had held down that job until I rage quit.
Jesus. Do you find with lawyers that they never got out of the college like frat mentality?
Yeah,
staying up at 7:30 or staying asleep till 7:30.
I think it's just an ego thing. I honestly think it's an ego thing where it's just like I'm going to go to sleep and stay asleep, and I'm not going to prioritize things. I don't know. That's kind of my take, but
so
we need handlers.
13 years. Are you is comedy starting to become a thing? Are you listening to stand-ups at this point? Are you?
Yeah.
What was entertaining post Army for like comedy and everything?
I mean, I was never really huge into comedy. Like that's what's so crazy. Like I loved Louis Black. I loved Jenny Zagrino. Jenny
Zagrino.
Oh my gosh.
That's a new name.
She's amazing. She is so fun. She is absolutely mind-blowing. I feel like I just treated comedy kind of like the way that you treat like going to a movie. You know, it was like something that I would do and it was fun, but I was never like super into it.
Okay.
Yeah, she's amazing.